The brand new Apex accounts approved within minutes. It took less than 5 to get approved for literally every one of the 5 payouts I just submitted. And we're closing the week with about 100K in profit, including a red day. So obviously in this video, we're going to talk about really our weekly review, update you on a couple of things for what we're working on in our automation, share what we're doing, and all the things in between. So first and foremost, yay, those new accounts with Apex, that's where we're getting these red days. And I'm not talking like the tilty ones or like the really bad. I had a really rough April and May. The stats say that May wasn't as bad, but it felt as bad because there was a lot of building, right? April was very bad, just across the board, very tilt, very travel, very life turmoil stuff going on, and just out of my element. I was trying so much, and then every time something else happened, I got out of my head. So prior to that, I was averaging about $30,000 to $50,000 a month in payouts, and that's not bad, right? 20 to 50,000, let's be fair. But still, this is still a journey. That means our good months and our bad months, and this is the hard part people don't understand. You're going to lose accounts, whether you're trading them automatically or manually or whatever you're doing. It's going to be part of this journey, sadly. A lot of prop firms are buckling down on the expectations of that. They don't want you cycling accounts. They don't want the prop firm farming as much, and they're trying to push more toward live, obviously, to stay, I'm sure, compliant with the CME and all the different regulating bodies that are coming out. So you guys can see the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've shared my last year's journey. I'm sharing this journey. Please note, I am not hiding the bad. This is the bad. So many people out there, and we talked about it in one of our classes the other day, they're going to post on their Facebook, they're going to post on their Instagram, I made 17K on this trade, but they don't show you they lost 20 on the other one. They show you, hey, I did this, but they don't say, hey, look, I was out of my mind. I was the problem. It wasn't the market. It wasn't the tool. I was the problem. So this is me showing you when I'm the problem, when I'm working on the problem, and everything in between. And just, again, sharing the journey of working toward that 6- and 7-figure payout. I have well surpassed over 6 figures in payouts with prop firms, having just started last year with the prop firm model. Definitely outside of my element. I like trading with live personal capital. It is a total different kind of trading. And this brings out some gremlin behavior. So here are our results. Now, before I go any further, yes, we got approved for, what is that, $7,500 in payouts. Notice it did take me 13 days, okay? Because again, you get a couple red days in there and that will do it. And this is exactly what that looks like. So on this day, I did have a hedge violation, really irritating because I have only been trading on TradingView and nowhere else. This was not copy trading related. This was a TradingView issue and it still counts. So sucks, but it is what it is. That's a hedge violation. You can see when I hit the stupid daily loss limit. The only reason why this one is so small is because that counted from a holiday. So there was a winning day and then it cut some of that in half. But overall, the good, the bad, the ugly, you can see I really just wanted to get the winning days and everything in between. So hedge violation there. And of course, it costed me more money than I actually made, in all fairness, which always sucks a whole bunch. But that's the journey. I'm also expecting another payout from Alpha as well. And then Top Step, we'll see. It has been very slow, okay? Since I had the really crash out period, actually let me filter this, okay? Because I really started tracking from July 2025. So July 2025, cool, got it, to here. Remember, this is a little, I figure it's never gonna be 100%, but it's as honest as I can get, as close as I can get. But this is including your funded accounts only, right? This isn't including all the other things that I'm working on or the automation or evals and stuff. So you can see, what was it? April, man. It was a really bad month. I was traveling here internationally, had a death in the family, and just this period, kind of end of March into most of May, it felt like a good 6 to 8 weeks of just turmoil. So here we are, fast forward to June, we're coming up on the end of the month. Trade number is way, way too high, if we're all being honest. You can kind of see, but again, it's too high compared to the amount of accounts. This isn't that bad because at the time I had bigger accounts and more of them. So right now, this is actually a really good number considering I'm trading maybe half as many accounts. I think I've got, I don't know, I definitely don't have 50 accounts right now, but figure 20, 25 accounts at the most, and that's between everything. So definitely not a bad way to be. But here's our results. Without going any further, let's go ahead and go take a look at the charts. They're going to be a little messy. My indicators are currently on. As you guys know, I don't do classes all the time. In fact, I'm a pretty big advocate to say that we don't need that. Of course, we want community. Trading can be lonely, but honestly, I feel like the never-ending streaming and never-ending world that is trading has just changed it. Trading takes minutes sometimes. And yeah, sometimes it takes longer. You just get trapped around. You get stuck in this mess, and then this mess happens without you. I missed this whole thing, and then I had to survive all this, which was fun, but we'll talk about that in a second. So Monday was an easy buy up and a sell down. This is the hourly time frame. It was super easy. Targeting possibly all-time highs when we failed. It was an easy kind of just consolidation day. Fast forward now to Tuesday. Tuesday, we took literally one trade. Waited. The reason we took the trade that we took, very simple, very defined, not subjective. Easy. We had literally came down, but tapped into liquidity, okay? We took out liquidity. This was a JGS and a 5-minute ORB strategy. For those of you guys who don't know, we've got that kind of our opening range break. We have this completely programmable, customizable. You can use it for London breakout. You can use it for the gold market at 8:30. You can use it for Asian session. You can use it for all kinds of things. It'll give you contract sizes, take profits, and literally everything. But either way, this was beautiful, perfect, followed the rules, had multiple confirmations, and traded all the way up. Ended up tagging right into the VWAP. It was a perfect trade. And I was smart. I was done on the day. I didn't do anything else. Very simple, smooth process. Fast forward to Wednesday. It was a chop fest. So hopefully if you waited for us to take out that kind of lower, that Asian kind of level, London level liquidity, you caught that buy up. But if you got caught in this, you probably blew some accounts because this was just up, 150 points down, up, 100 points down, going nowhere, down. Oh wait, it's not going down, it's going up, and then sit still to finally go down at the end of the day. So that was a messy day. If you were trading, I did not trade much on Wednesday at all. In fact, I got most of my target that I needed for the previous night because, again, I had plans on that day. I was going to be with my youngest son before he heads out for his camping trip. So fast forward to Thursday. This was like traumatizing, man. This is the part about being a trader that no one really talks about, or I just don't think they talk openly enough, honestly enough, realistically enough. So I had every reason to take this trade as a sell. I didn't take it, and I can give you all my reasons why, okay? I can give you all of them. Most of them are not good enough. We were really close to tapping into some key levels. We had our ETH high, I can go to remove that. We had our monthly high, I can remove that. We had our 4-hour high, I can remove all that stuff. Either way, we had the 50%, which we just did not tag into. And I was like, okay, we're going to push and consolidate all night. We're looking to take a little bit more than we did. So this right here was 8:30 news driven or whatever, right before 8:30. Cool, it is what it is. Fast forward, here we go. We're right up against the VWAP. This was 130 points. It was a big one. 160 points, 160 point range. So my entry, if I wasn't streaming, okay, would have been when we got back below that 925 candle. Take it, you're good, you're done. That's my JGS entry, right? That's our moving average melody strategy. Very simple. We follow JGS. It is not complex. People are doing incredible things with it. But we also did the continuation. We get beyond the VWAP, okay? You could have entered here. Also, literally, this had pulled up and I had literally drawn one of those P&L boxes that go shorter and long. I was like, I didn't want to be the trap. I didn't want to be the liquidity. And what happened? Man, it tanked. And it tanked. And then it tanked. And it tanked. It was just all the way down. And there was nothing, right? There was nothing. Watching this happen and all the psychology that kind of goes into that is a real thing. It's part of a real journey. This right here was our only kind of a retest, and that would have been on the 1-minute time frame, which I'll pull in here in a second. Had to go to a better time frame so you can see it. I try to keep my butt off of the 1 minute because I just feel like dumb decisions are made there. That's where we go to make Vegas level decisions. It's just a dumb place to be. This was our first one. Not a bad entry, but again, after it's moved this much, it moved nearly 1,000 points. Really hard to trust that sell. Everyone's blowing their accounts trying to buy here. So really hard. Either way, got a little bit, of course, overprotected, didn't make much. This right here is our levels bounce, KR bounce plays, if you will. And of course, we got our confirmation. We retested, we continued. Got a little bit, unfortunately didn't get very much. Then of course, this is our retest. Like that's a bear flag, right? We did not obviously come up anywhere near the 50% or the VWAP, but it's a beautiful entry. I was up nearly 50 whatever points from the time I entered, and I just failed to protect it. There was no reason not to protect those 50 points, so I took the full loss here. Okay, actually my exit was when we were getting into this candle. Here we get that first close. Cool. I exited. Got it. I lost a good 55, 60 points. It is what it is. Fast forward. I took this long. I knew what I was looking for on the day. I knew, hey, we've made this much of a move because of how I wanted the week to end and what my big picture was. And again, I've had a 10-year track record saying my big picture accuracy is 90%. High 80s, low 90s, literally. So when I am pretty confident, and I am. Either way, I held for dear life for this entire thing. I was up 50 points, 100 some odd points, and failed to close because I was looking for a little bit more. I was looking for that 50% of the smoke. We ended up getting it, go figure. Notice in this sell, my targeting was actually this imbalance, and we barely kind of tapped into that literal point that I was targeting here and missed by a millisecond. What happens? I failed to protect here. Again, these were two very no good excuse losses. What happens next? Of course, we do come exactly to the target that I had in mind, and then we pop back up to hit the targets that I had for the buys. So it was just right direction, wrong order, right? That's the only way I can define Thursday was right direction, wrong order. I did end up closing green on the day. Barely, just barely. I got a baby amount of this and a baby amount of this, and I was just, okay, I got green, got my bucks that I needed on the accounts that were waiting to pay out, and I was like, okay, I don't need any more. I'm going to be a good girl and walk away, okay? Don't want any part of this. And it was a hot mess. Fast forward now to Friday, I had some buddies call me who are doing a lot of options and are working on learning futures a little bit better. What's your perspective? What are you looking for? Et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, the market is down, but all of the people who were trying to make new lows on a Friday, it's not the time to kind of continue that direction. And we're not looking for much more of a buy up because we've got this sell down, retested, got this sell down, retested. By the time we get to Friday, we're close to double bottoms, haven't taken liquidity. It's a mess of a day. Everybody wanted to see if we continue those sells too early and then buy too late. And that's the story I got from a lot of the traders I had. Again, I was pretty lucky. I wasn't trading much on Friday. I had taken, again, a couple of positions that I needed the previous night because I didn't want to be in the market and I had things to do with my munchkin before they leave. And that's that. So those are the decisions I made this week and why overall the strategies that I'm using, this is kind of where we're at. It's still JGS, breakout touch, levels bounce, and 1 minute JGS. JGS retest, obviously really good trades. Overall, if you could accomplish 6% in a week, that's not bad. I accomplished vastly more than that on our indices copier. I didn't even know, I think nearly 10, 20%. And then of course on my live account, which I have the NQ going to and NAS going to, I did pretty good this week on NQ because I caught that huge move. I caught a couple of the huge moves, right? Not to say I didn't take some losses because I did, but the huge moves paid for the losses times 10. So this is where we're sitting on the week, the year. We're about 467%, assuming you're risking 1% per trade. You'll notice the good, the bad, and the ugly. Not every day is green. It's not going to be. My losses tend to come in batches. It's something I'm got really familiar with over the years. I'll notice that if I get this really long run, the one thing I can be certain of is that this day is coming. And the hard part is not to let this day turn into something like this, right? And it's hard. It's just hard across the board, but it is part of the process. I love trading. I love the markets. I love being part of this journey. That is the fun part. That and of course working with people. So that's where we're at. Next week, hopefully we'll have a couple of other cool things to share with you guys in terms of some of the automation, what we're doing. Actually, let me show you this. Okay, this is our Discord. So we have a couple of people using an orb breakout automated, as in hands-free. I will say, before I go any further, there's one thing people can count on me for, it is telling the truth. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is going to be green all the time. Nothing's going to be easy. If it was that easy, everyone would be a billionaire, and they're not. So come on, get raw. But man, I am excited. JGS, of course, this guy uses this. He is an incredible person, and man, all that stuff notwithstanding, swears by JGS and does incredibly well. Has flipped a lot of accounts, demo and live, to an insane amount of money. This one right here was one of my first trading that was passed entirely automation. And of course, we had a couple people that just, it brought tears to my eyes, and not just mine, but also theirs, to see so many people making money. And some of these people had never got a payout. They had literally been trading since 2009 and had never actually got to the point when they were profitable. So it feels really good to be kind of part of that journey. Again, not perfect. A couple people actually got payouts or breakout, I'm being honest. I've mostly been focusing on continuity. And last but not least, of course, our Dragonfly has been going crazy. Their first anniversary and everything in between. So these are some of the things going inside of our community. This was continuity, 50th account passed, 53 accounts. That's wild, guys. This is what's possible when you stick with it, but it's part of the journey. So cheers to all that. I hope that this is helping you find a way to get to the point where breakout automation, that one was mine, JGS, to realize it's possible. Perfect? No. We have to contend with our green days, our red days. And again, if I go back to our nice little view here and I go to the current month, okay, there's a lot of ugly in this. Not only was I off kilter, but also I haven't been able to use my ATM management. And also I haven't been copy trading as many accounts, which limits how much I have access to in terms of payouts. So it really changes everything. I really am thinking about going back to Trade Syncer, but I'm terrified. I feel like the whole darned if you do, darned if you don't. I know I talk about it all the time, but you guys think about it all the time. I'm sure you do right there with me. So let's share this journey. Let's go on it together. Like, where do you guys stand in terms of copy trading off platform, multiple platforms at the same time? And that's my ultimate goal, is to be able to copy 20, 40, 50 accounts, let them grow for 200 days. That's $500,000, $1 million in payouts, and accomplish that, not for social media proof or whatever, or likes, which I'm sure are going to be great, but for me to show myself that I can do that. And that's really what I want to do. But without doing that, it just feels like such a catch-22. So all your eggs are in one basket with one firm. And with all the things going on with prop firms, it makes it a little bit hard. So please remember that these days are going to be part of it. None of us are perfect, me, you, or the guy swearing that he is. It's not the case. This is the real journey. This isn't the fun part. We can go back to other months where it's like, woohoo, best trader in the world. Yeah, we got $400,000, $500,000 worth of what was that big month? I think it was like February, $400,000 in achieved profits. Now, granted, I have 1,550K accounts at this point, and then a lot of other accounts elsewhere. It's easy to hit this many big days. I'm not going to hit this many huge outlier days. That was a big outlier too. If I don't have that many accounts and if I don't have that much size, this one is only because I had just got back my 150K accounts, my legacy accounts that were renewed in my past. So hopefully I got a nice little buffer in there, plus the other 15 accounts that I had, and then a few others. Most of it's Apex, Take Profit Trader, Lucid, TradeView, Alpha. Obviously, if you're buying any prop firms, please use code 6FTC. It is a tiny way to help support the underdog on all the channels. And with that note, a small announcement, and again, I'm going to get back to some of this with my team and give you all the details, and we'll put it on our socials and everything. But for any of you guys who buy 10 accounts using code 6FTC, we're going to be giving away our Breakout Script for TradingView. So if you haven't already done so, keep track, do it at one time. When we're getting ready to launch that here in the next few weeks, we will let you know. We'll get an email list going on so we can send you access to that. And then, of course, even on the CFD side, the Forex side, if you have subscribed or are using one of our IB brokers, it can prove that you have signed up using our affiliate link, cool, and you have deposited money, we will send you a MT5 version of a breakout strategy, which is pretty awesome because the things you can do with that, whether it's Orb, Big Dog, New York Open, okay, what you guys called New York Open was originally called Big Dog or Breakout Strategy. You can do it for gold session at 8:30 a.m. You can do it for Asian. A lot of people love that. You have a ton of options, and we're going to be giving it away completely free. So definitely check that out. And as always, if you haven't already done so, check out sixfiguretradingcoach.com. I'll be back on live next week and going over our results. So cheers to that. Happy trading. Take care and God bless.